The smell of burnt coffee and sizzling bacon filled the air as Lena, a tired waitress in her late 20s, wiped down the counter for what felt like the 100th time. Her uniform was worn, her shoes scuffed, and her smile, though faint, never failed to show warmth to every customer who walked through the door. The old roadside diner had been her second home for years, a place where truckers, travelers, and locals gathered for coffee and comfort. It was nearly midnight when the peace shattered. The door swung open with a loud creak, and 3 men walked in, loud, arrogant, and already smelling of alcohol. They stumbled toward a booth near the back, laughing and slapping each other on the shoulders. The tallest of them, a man with a leather jacket and a cruel smirk, shouted across the room, "Hey sweetheart, we're hungry. Serve us, bitch." The few customers in the diner froze. Lena's hand trembled slightly as she held her notepad, but she forced herself to stay calm. She had dealt with rude customers before, truckers who cursed, teens who pranked, but something about these men felt different. Dangerous. She took a deep breath, walked over to the booth, and said softly, "What can I get you boys tonight?" One of them whistled mockingly. "Oh, polite now, huh? We'll start with your number and maybe a smile that's worth our time." Laughter erupted from the table. Lena's face flushed red, but she stayed professional. "I'm just here to take your order," she said firmly. The tall one leaned closer, his voice turning dark. "You don't talk back to me, girl." I said, "Smile." Before she could step away, he grabbed her wrist, tight enough to make her wince. The diner went silent except for the faint hum of the old jukebox. "Let go," she said through clenched teeth. "Or what?" he sneered. "You gonna call your manager?" At that moment, the door opened again. The sound of heavy boots echoed against the tiled floor. 4 bikers walked in, massive, bearded men in worn leather jackets with the insignia, Steel Guardians, across the back. The leader, a man known as Bear, scanned the room with cold, sharp eyes. He instantly sensed the tension. Lena tried to pull her wrist away, but the thug still held on, smirking at the newcomers. "What? You boys here to eat too? Wait your turn. We're being served." Bear's deep voice cut through the air like thunder. She said, "Let go." The thug turned, snickering. "Or what, old man? You gonna?" He didn't finish. Bear took 1 step forward, and his towering frame seemed to swallow the space between them. His voice was calm, deadly calm. "I don't like repeating myself." The men released Lena's wrist instantly. One of the other bikers, a younger guy named Rex, stepped closer, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Funny how tough guys lose their courage when someone their size shows up." The diner's tension shifted like a storm passing. The thugs tried to save face, muttering curses, but Bear wasn't done. He looked at Lena, then Ba.